Hey, welcome back to DieCash Cars. So today, guys, we got a great episode, and I wanted to talk about an area of Hot Wheels and diecast investing that I've never done before. And honestly, because I don't do it myself. But what I have noticed from a lot of collectors, as well as Hot Wheels and diecast influencers, is that they are branching out from just your day-to-day collecting. They are also trying to get into the customizing game. So I'm seeing a lot of folks transition from just reviewing and talking about cars to full on taking commission work to custom pieces, using their skills and talents at painting and wheel swapping and slamming and stancing out cars to make customs and sell those to the collecting community. But the question is always brought up, how much should these folks be charging for their custom pieces? It takes a lot of time, energy, dedication, passion in order to go through and make a full-blown custom, regardless if it's just a simple wheel swap to tambo work, paint jobs, interior details, etc. It takes time and energy and a lot of practice and a lot of tools and materials at that. Well, that is the exact topic that I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to give you guys the criteria that you need in order to price your custom pieces accurately and appropriately for the market. And I'm also going to be doing this with the help of a buddy and fellow YouTuber, Yogi Cartano, or better known as Jakarta Diecast Project. I was able to obtain one of his diecast customs, which I am thrilled to share with you guys in this video as well too. But we're going to use this as an example on how you should be pricing your Hot Wheels and diecast customs. So let me just say that it is a true honor to actually own one of these Jakarta Diecast Project customs, authentic. This is one of the customs that he did a full documented video on from start to finish. And again, truly honored. And you might be wondering, how much did I pay for one of these customs? Well, we'll get to that after I review all of the criteria for pricing a custom, but I know more than anything you guys are anticipating which custom I got. Drum roll please. It is the DieCash Green Drag Toyota Supra. Man, this thing is just glorious. Let's get this out of this display and let's move right into criteria number 1, which just so happens to be how renowned the customizer is within the community. So what's the background? What's the reputation? Does the person exhibit good or bad quality? How difficult are all of the custom pieces that this individual creates? And in my particular situation here, Jakarta Diecast Project, literally a household name when it comes to the Hot Wheels and diecast community. I mean, everybody watches this guy's videos. I mean, just all the intricacies on what he implements into all of his customs. I mean, the attention to detail is off the charts. So when it comes to you and selling your customs, or if you're a buyer and you're looking at customs out there for sale, you're looking to add them into your collection, you got to take this into account. And I know it's a little bit subjective. It's kind of the harsh reality of customizing, because you really do need to build up your rap sheet before you can really gain a lot of traction as far as selling customs consistently. For instance, for you guys, is that if you've only been customizing Hot Wheels or diecast for a month or 2 months, you're probably not going to have that big of a following, which means that your customs, you probably can't sell them for too much, right? Compared to someone who's been customizing for over 5+ years, you're probably looking at more of an entry-level pricing for your customs, at least to start, and you can kind of build your way up. The number 2 criteria is the features of the custom piece, or honestly, the number of features, right? Anytime you can quantify something, it definitely helps your case as far as the price either you're selling something for or paying for. When it comes to this JD Project's Drag Toyota Supra, I mean, just look at this presentation to start. I mean, a full acrylic Koval case, right? And it looks to be more of the premium end of what Koval can do. Then you got this nice suede cardboard box that comes with it. I mean, super elegant. Let's actually get this piece opened up and look at some of the features on the actual custom car. So here it is out of box, and man, oh man, this thing is unreal, guys. I mean, that gloss mint green paint just looks great. The giant turbo sticking out of the hood, so lifelike. I mean, unreal. I mean, if I had good camera skills, I'm sure I could get a picture of this to where you would think it's a real car. Alright, but again, continuation on, I'm getting distracted, guys, but continuation on of criteria number 2. I mean, features, guys. This car, this custom just speaks for itself. And might I add, this might be the first time that anybody has ever truly reviewed a Jakarta Diecast Project custom piece on their channel. But I am happy to do it. Oh, gosh. This thing is super nice. Alright, well, let's talk about features. Exterior wise, I mean, you got carbon fiber hood, you got a carbon fiber drag spoiler on the back, you got the parachute, you got what looks like to be actual string for the parachute, you got a wheelie bar, drag radials with big meats in the back, you got the skinnies up front. And the coolest thing about this Supra, this custom, is that the front end, the whole front clip, comes off. And guys, it's attached by magnets, so it always pops back in place in the correct orientation. But look at that. Look how perfect that is. I mean, it fits like a glove. Super intricate. And we'll drop that piece down. And then the hood also comes off as well too. And again, precision cut. Look at that opening for the giant turbo external wastegate and all the correct piping. And then the engine details. Again, we're focusing in on the features of this piece. And there's about $1 million right there in that shot. I mean, the intercooler tubing, it literally goes all the way around from the intake manifold all the way through to the intercooler, which says HKS on it. You got a radiator right behind it, and then that tubing actually follows all the way through back to the turbo. That is insane. And then this engine, the 2JZ, was handcrafted by JD Project. You got the headers, the exhaust manifold, you got ignition wires. Man, that's so insane. And then on the interior, well, you got a little NOS bottle right there. The whole entire interior is actually fully fabricated. I mean, there's not an ounce of original interior on this piece, which is just crazy. I mean, detailing an interior is one thing, but to redo the entire interior is another, and that's just insane, guys. It just looks so rad, so wicked. The rear tail lights are done. It's kind of dark because of that giant ducktail spoiler there. But man, this looks so great. And I love how simplistic it is. Just one Cybon carbon branded logo there on the side and on the windshield. And that's all it needs, guys. This piece is otherworldly, to be perfectly honest. So one other feature that I wanted to note too, guys, is that these headlights, they're not tampos. These were hand painted by Yogi himself, which, again, that's so signature of what he does on a lot of his builds. This alone, guys, is worth every bit of what I paid for this car. I mean, it's so awesome. But yeah, like I said, all these little bits and pieces all fit right back onto this car like a glove. And the magnets really help. I mean, there's no finessing it at all. It just goes on like it should. Like it were a real car. I mean, the finish on the custom is just unreal, guys. I mean, I thought I was gonna like break this thing. It's actually very durable for, you know, for being a custom. It doesn't feel fragile. Doesn't feel like I'm gonna break anything at all. I'm just being very cautious with it nonetheless, but wow, breathtaking. So yeah, criteria number 2, does it have enough features for you? Well, in my particular case, yes it does. Moving on to the number 3 criteria, and that is quality and overall difficulty of a custom build. And again, this is going to vary from custom to custom, but the example that we have here, this JD project, drag Toyota Supra, I mean, the quality is second to none. I mean, it looks factory. It looks like a real car. It looks like it was manufactured by robots, and this is how it should have looked, which is grade A from a quality standpoint. From a difficulty standpoint, the way I look at my customs is the combination of features, right? And we touched on all those with this particular custom, but I think just the sheer number of features that this car offers, all in combination together. I mean, removable hood, removable front clip, all the way through to, you know, changing the chassis, changing the wheelbase, full done interior, fully detailed engine. I think the combination of all that, and for it to all culminate together and work together as one solid custom like this, at such a high level of quality, again, this is second to none. So difficulty is off the charts, quality is off the charts, guys. And that's what you're going to be looking at custom pieces to understand how they should be priced. I mean, this, honestly, guys, again, I'm not going to give you guys the number as to what I paid for this yet, but just understand that it's worth every penny. And the 4th and final criteria for helping you guys price your diecast customs is actually a concept that I got from Jakarta Diecast Project. If you go and look at his listings on Shopify, he actually calls out the reasons for the pricing that he has for each custom. And one of those reasons, it actually reads the amount of views on YouTube each diecast projects. So essentially, the more views these customs get on his channel, the more he's going to increase the price, right? And I think that is very valid, very fair. We live in a social media age right now, and why not use social media, whether it's Facebook likes, Instagram likes, YouTube views, YouTube likes, the number of comments, etc. We can use that data to help us gauge how interested people are in custom pieces, right? And then from there, you can fine-tune your own gauge as to how to price your customs. I think that's very clever, very intelligent of Jakarta Diecast Project to implement that into their pricing strategy. And I think all customizers should use that in some way, shape, or form with a lot of their customs. I mean, the video associated to this piece is at 2.8 million views, guys. And from a YouTuber standpoint, guys, I mean, I geek over stats like this. Like, to me, 2.8 million views is unheard of. It's just amazing, and it, again, is a true honor to have a piece that's been seen and reviewed by 2.8 million people around the world. And again, that is something that I truly value. And again, from a pricing standpoint, I'm totally on board paying for something like that. So with the 4 criteria for pricing, custom, Hot Wheels, and diecast identified, you're probably wondering about the question that I teased in the beginning of all this. How much did I pay for this Jakarta Diecast Project drag Toyota Supra? Well, I paid a grand total of $650 off of their Shopify website. Now, half of you, when you hear that figure, you're probably thinking, oh, well, that's not terrible, just given the status of Jakarta Diecast and all the intricate details for this piece. You probably feel like $650 is fair, or even thinking that I might not have even paid enough for such a high-profile piece. And then there's the other half of you who probably think I am insane for dropping $650 for one 164 custom piece that I'm sure a lot of locals are bold enough and confident enough to say that they could replicate everything that Jakarta Diecast Project did here with this piece. But to double down on my decision, let's go back and revisit those 4 criteria that I just went through. Number 1, is the customizer well known? Does he or she have a good rap sheet, a good history of customizing? Absolutely. When it comes to Jakarta Diecast Project, I mean, the number 1 Hot Wheels or diecast YouTuber with the largest channel, the most subscribers, 5 years of being on YouTube with over 400 documented customs. Yes, I think that checks the box, and that is worth every penny of $650. Number 2 being the number of features on this piece. And guys, I honestly can't even count how much of this car is fully customized. I mean, everything from the engine bay, which was all hand done, hand carved, the hand painted headlights, to the fully detailed interior, and then again, just converting a mainline Toyota Supra into a drag race car. I mean, it's unbelievable. So again, it checks all the boxes. Moving on to criteria number 3. I mean, from an overall quality and difficulty standpoint, I mean, the combination of all of these features all together, I mean, the fact that the whole front clip comes off, the hood, you can expose everything, it's got a full tubed front chassis, all the way through to the rear end and the wheelie bars on the back. I mean, that whole entire combination is unbelievable and honestly unseen when it comes to 164 customization. So again, check. And then last but not least, criteria number 4, and probably my favorite justification for picking up this piece, but the number of views that this custom on Jakarta Diecast Project received. 2.8 million views. I mean, guys, just as a reference point, I've been on YouTube for about 2 years now. I have over 200 videos, and I just crossed the 2.1 million mark as far as views goes on DieCash Cars. And if you break down the price I paid by the number of views that this particular custom has received, that's only 2/10,000ths of a dollar per view, which is an absolute steal when you compare that to some of the other really awesome Jakarta Diecast Project custom pieces out there. Like, for example, there is also a really nice Tron inspired Tesla Model S Plaid Edition Rocket Bunny wide body kit. I looked up the associated video. It has 1.4 million views, is listed for $500 on the Shopify website. That comes out to about 3/10,000ths of a dollar per view. If you take that ratio and multiply it by the 2.8 million views that this drag Supra got, this Supra should actually be worth more like $980, almost $1,000. And then there's this crazy realistic Peaks Pike CRV, which I don't even think there is one in existence in real life, but it just looks so lifelike from this custom that JD Project produced. Nonetheless, the associated video has 989,000 views. It is listed on sale, on clearance on the Shopify website for $600. That is a ratio of 6/10,000ths of a dollar. And if you apply that to the 2.8 million views for this drag Toyota Supra, the Supra should actually be $1,680. So let's see what else Jakarta Diecast has on their Shopify website. Well, there's this Lamborghini Miura in blue, opening front and rear ends with removable wheels. Just looks insane. Listed for $600 on their website. The associated video has 418,000 views. That is a ratio of 1/1000th of a dollar. Again, if you multiply that by the 2.8 million views for the Toyota Supra, the Supra should be worth $3,900. So you guys probably get the point, but let's keep going. There is this awesome 6x6 Datsun 510, which I feel like is a perfect blend between Jakarta Diecast and Junimai. It's the nostalgia Datsun 510 livery that we all know and love, listed for $600 on the Shopify website. The associated video has 163,000 views. That is a ratio of 3/1000ths of a dollar per view. Multiplied by the 2.8 million views for the Toyota Supra, this Supra should be worth 10 grand. And my personal favorite in comparison to the Mercedes-Benz 190e red with a wide body kit. This associated video has 77,000 views. Jakarta Diecast has it listed for $550 on their Shopify website. That comes out to a ratio of 7 thousandths of a dollar. And applying that to the 2.8 million views that the Supra has, this Supra should be worth 20 grand by that math. So guys, what I'm trying to get at here is that from this one criteria alone, the amount of feedback and the perception of how well liked this custom is from social media, YouTube, Instagram, etc., I feel like the $650 that I paid is justified. In fact, if anything, if what I shared with you guys means anything at all, and Yogi, my friend, I hope you're okay with this, but I feel like I underpaid for this piece. I mean, this drag Toyota Supra, it's such an iconic piece. I was very surprised that it wasn't even in the 4-figure territory. I mean, at least $1,000, but nonetheless, I am very humble and very happy to have this in my collection. It's going nowhere. It's staying with me forever. I mean, I am absolutely enamored with it. Thank you so much, Jakarta Diecast, for this piece. But that's what I got for you guys today. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.